Oi, you're tuned in to Jai That Aussie Metal Guy, so make sure to hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss any of his sick content. And remember, stay brutal, you legend.
Hey, how you all going? It's Jai That Aussie Metal Guy here with Crank.com and with that metalstation.com. So tonight, wherever you are in the world, it's a great pleasure that I'm having a chat with Anders Odden of Cadaver, who are due to release The Age of the Offended. It is the 6th studio album, does come out July 21st through Nuclear Blast. It is a fucking absolute ripper of an album. I did get to chat with Dirk when you dropped the Edda and Bile album a couple of years ago, so I was very, very excited to wrap my ears around this. Anders, cheers for joining me, my friend.
Thank you very much. You're on the other side of the world, and I hear it's early in the morning. Not really early, but it feels like it's early. But good to be in contact with Australia again.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely good to have a chat with you. I know the last couple of years have been quite hectic for you, but can you tell me a little bit about your songwriting process for this album?
Oh yeah. Basically, we're writing songs all the time. You know, I'm sending riffs to Dirk to go through, and sometimes he has a lot of time off the road and gets really into it, and I get like tens of thousands of ideas back. But it's basically us sending things between us, and then for the previous album we met together and you know, consolidated everything together in the same room, but because of COVID we couldn't do that this time. So even though it's kind of recorded remotely, it feels like we recorded it together, and it's more to do with how we approach music, which is kind of the same way. So it's always important for us to make it sound fresh and inspired and not totally over thought out, or you know, if it works, it works. That's basically what you need to do as a songwriter: make things that you like yourself and see how it goes, you know.
Yeah, that's what I really the Edda and Bile album was a great album. This one too kind of stands on its own. It kind of, as you said, it goes all over the place. It's like a fuck you to the genres and just playing whatever feels right. There's moments of grindcore, death metal. It's just whatever absolutely feels great. That starts out with the Sycophant Swing, which is an absolute ripper, kind of owes back to one of the earlier albums. Can you tell me a little bit about that opening and starting point for the album?
Yeah, I wanted to pay tribute to our beginnings, and the same guy who's doing the trombone intro on Hallucinating Anxiety, he wanted to join us for this one as well. So I basically wrote everything to be like a film noir kind of soundtrack thing, and I was fucking around with for a while. Actually, this is the 4th piece I was writing in this direction until I was happy with the whole arrangement. And because we're in the 2020s, I wanted to have nod back to the 1920s because of everything that happened. It feels like we're just in the same place in the world for some strange reason, just 100 years later. Everything's kind of the same: the plague, the wars, everything. So I wanted to have this feel of the 1920s. So it's basically written everything original. We didn't steal it from anything. It was a total original piece, but it sounds like we sampled someone from 1920. But it's all played together. It's actually recorded in this studio. We were just standing here playing, you know, guitar, double bass, trombone, and keyboards together in the same room, and we just built on top of that. So it's recorded as it was in 1923 as well, you know, or something, with one microphone in the room. So it's very unique recording. It sets the tone for the whole album, I think, like a sci-fi, like steampunk sci-fi or something.
Yeah, it definitely does. And I brought Sven back in too for that one as well. You'd worked with him prior.
Who?
You brought Sven back in to work with him prior? Yeah. Yeah.
Sven, I haven't seen him for years, so it was really cool that he could join. And he's actually the link to the bass player Eilert Solstad, because the two of them had a band together called syndicate of swing, so that's why the title is also nodding to their old band. It was like a punk jazz band in the 80s.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, you got Elliot back too on this album, and that double bass just creates a bloody amazing sound. What was it like getting back with him and kind of working with him again?
Well, he came to me and asked if he could try out to play again in 2020, and we started slowly working together again because of the pandemic and everything. It was a good place to start for him because he could, spend a lot of time working on the material and getting back into the groove. Because I mean, he's been in bands after his Cadaver run in the 90s, but never metal. Cadaver is his only metal band, and he really loves metal, but he's an old punk as well. He's like he's a guy that taught us everything about music basically in the 90s. He was to work with us back then. He had to write everything down on score because he didn't understand the riffs. So he was playing to this score sheets, and we're like, "What the fuck is going on?" So he's quite a character. He's like a cartoon character actually in his personality as well. So he's a really funny, sarcastic guy. So it was really good to get him back in because with this remake of Cadaver, it sparked off with Dirk, of course, but to have another more original member in the group as well feels even better for also for people who've been paying attention to the band since the start, that we're basically the same group. The old drummer will never return because he has a different life now and everything, but he's totally in support of us. So he's been to shows, and anyone that thinks this is like a just me taking the band or the name further, it's not really that. It's we're a group effort as well.
Oh, most definitely not. It has been quite a trying couple of years for you. I know, kind of what you went through, and good on you for overcoming the cancer diagnosis. For me, I'm in the middle of my own cancer battle as well. I was recently diagnosed with bowel cancer as well, colon cancer, and for me, people like
You have
yourself
that
right now going through that at the moment. So I kind of understand I really understand your mindset of like, I just want to make this music. And when you said this isn't just a point of me pushing the Cadaver name, no, this is you doing whatever feels right. You could sit back and go, fuck it, I'm not doing nothing, because I know the mindset is right now you're just going to do what's important for Anders and kind of what feels right for you as a person, and fuck you to society that I'm going to do what's right for me. And I kind of really get it. But this album too, I just really got this album. And kind of how much did that impact you, the struggle with what you went through and the fucking battle, man? Because it's tough. I know I've just in the middle of the chemo, about to have liver surgery and then bowel surgery and radiotherapy. And for yourself, I know it was one hell of a battle, and a lot of people aren't going to realize how tough it was for you to get through that and to come out this bloody end of this, man, and make this great album and still work your ass off.
Yeah, no, I mean, kind of, if you're going through it right now, you know the secret is that all you want to do is to get through it, So there's nothing to it. You either get through it and live, or you die from it. It's very brutal. So the only choice you have is to think forward.
Yep.
And I actually played my first show with Eilert and Cadaver as soon as I think it was 6 weeks after the last chemo. I played the show just to prove that I could, it was very, very insane to do that, but I was like, fuck it. I just wanted to show the world that I was, through it all. But the whole experience also made me more focused on me, of course, like, other things in life that have been, well, not necessarily difficult, but you had to make choices, to to focus. And still, I feel more exhausted by things than I used to, sometimes. But most of the time, I'm just trying to focus on what I'm doing and moving forward. I don't think about the diagnosis that much in day to day, because it's a thing of the past. But it's as you probably know, after the whole thing, you go 5 years to check, every half year. So I'm in the middle of that now. So, but that's my only reminder, really. And of course, getting a little older also makes everything different. But it feels like I got a second life, basically. Now, if it was up to nature, and if this was like 30 years ago, I would be dead. So right now, everything I do, I feel like I'm doing like a bonus.
Yeah, no, you've done amazingly well. The Age of the Offended is an absolute ripper album, man. Can you? We got a little bit more time. Tell us about the first single off the title track for the album, The Age of the Offended, Anders.
Yeah, I mean, that song was the last one we wrote for the album, and it was basically this finger. I have this warm up routines when I'm playing shows, so I always write riffs when I'm never sitting doing specific scales or stuff like that. I'm always just noodling. So it came from one of those noodlings, and I realized that this could be a really important track when we got everything together, and it felt right to make it the title track because all the elements in the song, it's basically has all the elements from all the other songs in it somehow. It's one song that captured the whole album, kind of. So it has this melodic side, it has a very heavy side, it also has brutal fast stuff and weird stuff. So of course the title you probably want to ask about, which is pretty obvious now, is that yeah, that people are obsessed by social media and ideas and things that they never thought about in the past. You find people who spend literally most of their awake hours looking at their phone, reading about all kinds of shit happening in the world, and all this clickbait-based news, which is all there is now. It's just a disease that people need to focus so much on other people's problems.
It's sad though, because like some of these generation know more who fucking Elon Musk and that Zuckerberg twat is than some of the people in history that they should be knowing, or some of the people from their own country in history, or what's actually going on now, or even who's ruling their country at the fucking time.
Yeah. No, it's all those things, as well as, I come from a generation where getting people pissed off or being offensive was actually the thing that led us into this metal thing. I mean, when I bought my first Venom album in I think it was 84, 85, with this huge upside down cross and the devil and all that stuff, it was really that was the appeal. Even bands like Wasp, you remember, with all those like naked women. Imagine them doing something like that now. It wouldn't fly at all. It would be like, oh, that's sexist or whatever it is.
Yeah, I used to have this mate who would have the tape cassette with Wasp every time. He'd rock up at a party and be Wasp in the fucking tape cassette.
Yeah. No, I mean that guy actually. That's a funny thing with the Blackie Lawless, one of those heroes of the early '80s shock rock, became like a Christian and denied himself to play his first single for years. I think he actually came around that he actually had to play "Fuck Like a Beast" again now. By the way, for some reason. He understood that
the error of his ways.
Yeah, this is the reason why people like my band.
Yeah, exactly. touring plans. What do you got any touring plans? That being said, I know it's a little hard at the moment because you're kind of all over the bloody place. But have you got anything planned for the summer circuit over there in Europe?
Well, we did all those the postponed shows last summer, you know, Hellfest and Walk-In and Inferno and all that. But this year we haven't really set any, because the album's coming out in July. I just wanted the album to work a little bit before setting, you know, new shows. We're doing some small festivals in Scandinavia this fall, but next year for sure we're looking at different kinds of plans, so let's see what happens in 24.
Yeah, everyone needs to get along and grab the vinyl and a whole stack of merch. The merch looks absolutely unreal. The cover art's amazing. It's going to look good on the vinyl. Love the splatter.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be a really, really great release. I hope everyone gets along and really supports the heck out of this. The Age of the Offender does drop July 21st through Nuclear Blast. Anders, do you have any last words, shout outs, thank yous, or anything else you'd like to add in there, my friend?
Yeah, I mean, going to your country and play shows would be amazing someday. You know, that's on my bucket list. I've been to Australia a few times with the other bands, but not with Cadaver. So if we could do like Australia and then go to Japan or something at the, you know, some point in time, that would be amazing. And until then, all my Australian friends, just enjoy the music. The music is out there, and let's see if we can meet in person one day. That would be amazing.
Yeah, that promoters, get them down under.
Oi, you're tuned in to Dry That Aussie Metal Guy, so make sure to hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss any of his sick content. And remember, stay brutal, you legend.